This is now interrupted for questions. Are there any questions? Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr President. My question without notice is to the Deputy Leader of the Government, Minister for Primary Industries, Regional Water, Trade and Industry. Minister, in light of yesterday's deferred answer, in which you revealed that Water New South Wales submitted inaccurate water compliance figures to the Matthews inquiry, how can the community have any faith that the systemic issues within your department were dealt with through this inquiry?
Systemic issues like Michael Daly faces.
Mr President, I thank the honourable member for his question. Maybe the member might clarify. I don't know that we talked about this issue yesterday.
Deferred answers.
Oh, deferred answers.
Deferred answers.
All over you, Niall.
Mr President, I thank the honourable member for his question, and obviously we have spoken about these matters on numerous occasions in this House when it comes to water compliance, Mr President. What is important is that we have got on with the job here, Mr President, and we're out in the market at the moment consulting with the next phases of water reform, which will make sure, Mr President, that water compliance is adequately handled by the independent regulator that we set up. And Mr.
Order. I call the Honourable Jeremy Buckingham to order for the first time. I also remind the Honourable Penny Sharp and the Honourable Daniel Wilkie that they're already on one call to order before when you're interjecting.
And Mr President,
I'm just reminding you you're on one call to order. I didn't say you did anything. Finish as the call.
And as the member was speaking in relation to the compliance numbers provided to the Matthews' inquiry, I'm advised Mr Matthews did not rely on those incorrect figures in compiling either his interim or final report. His recommendations are now being implemented, as I alluded to earlier in my answer, Mr President, with the establishment of the Natural Resource Access Regulator, which will bring compliance solely under the control of one government agency, separate to DPI and also separate to Water New South Wales. Page 16 of the interim report states the key of Mr Matthews' interim report states the key compliance investigation reporting and management system took some time to become available from Water New South Wales, and the use of the system was hindered by technical access issue. That finding was handed down on September 11. Given the importance of compliance, Mr President, it's making sure that we have a system here in New South Wales that all stakeholders and the community can have confidence in going forward. That's why we have set up the Natural Resource Access Regulator, Mr President. That is something that we committed to. Initially, when we had Mr Matthews' report, we put the legislation through this parliament, and now we're getting on and making sure that that independent regulator, chaired by the Honourable Craig Knowles, will have the resources to be able to back up the legislative framework that we've provided them to give all of those stakeholders confidence moving forward. In relation to other changes in the water space, we are out consulting with all stakeholders now, and we'll bring back the results of that consultation, including the consultation on the draft bill that we are consulting on, and we will see that come before this House in the future.
Thank you.